We are back with the finale of Sly 2, Band of Thieves.
And not at the safe house like usual.
Nope, because of the way the parts just shook out time-wise, it made the most sense to split it up like this.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 2 more engines to shut down.
That's kind of, in some ways, that makes Bentley really overpowered to be able to just trank and then bomb even these high-level enemies.
Yeah, but he kind of needs it because otherwise he really has nothing.
Yeah. His little crossbow hit ain't gonna cut it.
No.
So can Bentley crawl under those things? I know it's green sparkles there. Huh.
Yeah, Bentley can crawl under stuff. I don't think he ever needs to in this game, though.
That's interesting. They bothered to program that in.
Yeah. But Murray can't. He's too big.
Yeah.
That's one of the engines that needs to be disabled. I won't lie to you, Murray. This is going to be a tough job that requires both our skills.
My skills? Okay, Bentley.
That K is capitalized.
First, I'll need to hack the stations controlling access to the engine room. Then, Murray, you'll need to head inside and use your muscle to finish the job.
The Murray will be ready to go.
I mean, okay is just a shortening of the word okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense for people just listening. Like okay versus OKAY.
Yeah, but I always spell it out as OKAY.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I almost never do that. Have your bullets always bounced?
Nope, that's new for this part,
Oh, that's handy.
because the enemies are a lot more dangerous. So I think you said last time that you were surprised that Bentley's part of the last mission didn't involve hacking.
Yeah.
And here we have our answer, because he does hacking in
I
this
see.
one.
So was this an upgrade you bought, or is it just
Nope,
part of this?
It's just for this one hacking sequence.
I gotta give Arpeggio credit. His defenses make a lot more sense than all the other ones.
Yeah.
Although getting this angle is tricky.
Yeah, it's, I don't think it's full like perfect 360 degrees. I think it does segment slightly. Just the nature of how they were doing analog in the PS2 era.
That's interesting, because usually analog sticks are supposed to be, like, you know, close to, you know, a ton of ranges. But it's funny,
Yeah.
you've said in the past that the GameCube C-stick is digital, right?
Yeah, it was digital.
See, that's what I don't understand, is when I use it on, say, like a Switch emulator, or a Switch even, but I can see it on the emulator, it's able to use the C-stick as though it was analog, and I'm curious how it fudges that, because you would think it wouldn't be able to do that.
I don't know. Maybe it's a bit harder to tell. I don't know.
I'd have to look into it.
Maybe the games were set up to receive dual analog input, but the stick itself in the hardware was only 8-directional.
Maybe.
So that's the other way that you can get up here.
Oh
real
yeah,
quick
that's
without
handy.
having to go all the way
But
around.
I don't even mean direction. I mean, like, if it can pick up slight, you know, movements. So I'm just like, I should look into how that works, because I'm wondering if maybe all along it was analog and we've all been lied to.
I don't think so, because if it was analog, then would Prime have had the control scheme that it had?
I mean, I guess not, but... Wow, that was a cool bank shot. But yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, it's not werehog fighting levels bad, but would have been nice to get more than one song for these.
Yeah. Considering how much they do the hacking in comparison to, say, Sly 1, where it was just that one sequence.
At the end, yeah. And these bullets almost never stop, it seems, until they hit something.
Yeah.
Alright, and there we go.
Alright, one more.
Oh boy.
There's a limit on how much you can use the jetpack after a single jump.
I figured. It's like the Mario hover nozzle. Nice, that's a good cutting corners.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with those little twisty things on top of those cages.
Oh, the
All
music
right,
is now
final
as fast
hacking
as it can
sequence
be.
of the game.
Yeah, the music's really fast now.
Yeah.
Do their shots bounce as well or no?
They
Doesn't
do
look
not.
like it. So you never got any upgrades for hacking, right?
Nope, there aren't any.
Huh, that one was a lot easier than the others.
Way for the Murray!
At least it was quicker.
Hey, pal.
Yeah.
Looks like you'll need to lift all those giant cylinders. Once they're locked in the up position, you'll be able to take them out from the top level. Heads up, pal. You've got company.
I take some risks on this mission, just to get the cylinders up a bit faster. Didn't need to, but I was like, I'm near the end of the game.
Yeah, might as well. I don't think I've ever seen Murray die.
I don't think I died as Murray in this playthrough at all, yeah.
Oh man, that was clutch. That was a really weird scream.
Yeah, I generally don't get hit much as Murray either.
It's ironic because you'd think he could take it the most.
Yeah. But I think the characters all take about the same amount of damage from hits.
I just realized that in some ways they all wear eyewear. Sly has his little bandit mask. Bentley has his glasses that are basically his eyes. Murray has his horn-rimmed glasses that are literally his eyes.
Yeah.
I noticed that button on top of him.
Yeah, Thunderflop kind of was billed as Murray's signature move in this game, but I'm not sure that you really have to use it outside of this right here. I tried to use it a couple of times in combat, and it was sometimes effective.
Pull the plug
Yeah.
on this thing.
Okay, one engine
Another
left.
engine bites the dust.
And this one, I'm guessing it's a Murray and Sly.
Mm-hmm. Murray will open the way, and Sly will come inside. I can get this bottle that I tried to get as Sly, but couldn't jump quite high enough.
It's interesting that you wouldn't think a hippo could jump higher than a raccoon, but here we are.
Yeah.
Murray, it looks like I'm gonna need some help getting into that engine room.
Happy to help.
Bentley tells me that the door to that room is locked down by wall-mounted power stations located.
Oh, I just realized this is actually a bit of bookending with Murray, because his first solo mission was taking out these same alarm horns.
Huh.
Sweat, Sly.
Well, there's only 5 of them. The way they panned out, it would have looked like there was a ton.
Yeah.
So,
Still, though, you know, it's yet another mission where you got to be running all over the show.
Alright, they're spread out. And it takes more than one hit. So that's 15 hits. Yeah, that'll take a bit. You know, I just had a thought. We're taking out the engines to this thing over the Atlantic Ocean.
Yep.
I don't know if they've exactly brought up the fact that they're going to be in a very bad spot once this thing loses its ability to fly.
Presumably, it can continue to stay aloft even without the engines. It is a blimp, not a jet.
Right. Yeah, I guess it's got those big old balloon thingies. Oh, that's a bad angle. It reminds me of the, in the, first area in Metroid Fusion, like the first, like, biosphere, when you have to take out those atmospheric controllers.
Yep.
And there's a, there's one of them that, due to the way that I mentioned the hitboxes extend out the gun, you can actually shoot it through the wall and save quite a bit of time getting a speed run. Heck, even in a casual run, there's no reason not to do it because it takes just as many hits.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's one thing I'd love to see added in a Metroid game, 2D or 3D, it's multi-stage charges. Like, I don't know, it's not quite all or nothing in the Prime games, but it feels like it's all or nothing.
Oh, I believe there's a different design for the coins in each area. These ones have an A for arpeggio.
Huh. Wait, like in the areas of the game or just this?
Yeah, in each chapter, like it has a different coin design.
These villains are so vain that they pay their workers in specialty money. I guess that's technically script, but seeing as these coins are usable on the thief net, I'm guessing they're gold. I don't know.
Alright, just one left. Yeah, that's the thing about those eggs, is that you can pick them up as Murray, but sometimes they'll just spawn one of these little helicopter things.
Yeah, you'd think the stomp would detonate them.
Power locks are on. Come on back and pry it open for me.
And now we gotta find our way all the way back up there.
Let's see what kind of crazy agility thing he has to do.
Sly, this place is packed with laser security. First, you'll need to make your way to the far end of this room, then jump up to the second level to get at the engine room control center.
It's this game's this series like favorite thing, which is undulating lasers.
And they haven't really had a laser wall like this before, have they?
There was one time in Sly 1, and it sticks out like a sore thumb, because it's like, wait a second, if they had solid laser walls, why aren't they using these all the time instead of the crisscrossing beams?
With some well-timed spire jumping, you should be able to get access.
I think the laser walls in this section move just a little bit too slow.
Yeah. That's probably by design. Especially with these saw blades, since you have to deal with them.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit too much jumping back and forth.
Oh, yeah. At some point...
It's killing time.
Yeah, at some point something isn't hard, it's just tedious.
And I believe you actually, I think I mentioned this in the last chapter, but I think you actually get the set on fire damage state for these ones instead of like the getting hit
It's
state.
convenient that the safe is right there.
For this engine,
Yep, unfortunately we do not have all of the bottles yet. Our last slideshow.
and an unexpected windfall, I've been contacted by Inspector Fox over the shortwave
Oh yeah, I forgot
radio.
about her.
She's well aware of the dire situation we all face if Klakla becomes immortal and has agreed to join forces with us so that we can destroy the robotic bird. The only catch is that she's unable to locate this blimp on her radar. To help her hone in on our position, we'll need to boost the strength of 4 local radio towers. Once Inspector Fox is in range, she'll take one of us on board to act as a tail gunner in a dogfight against Klakla. This is it. We don't have time for another plan. We're almost over Paris, and if that hate hypnosis light show goes off, well, you know the story.
I wonder, I mean, the light show will go off, but we drained the Northern Light battery.
That's true. Yeah, that's
All
a
right.
bit of a plot hole.
Perhaps.
Temporal
Maybe
lock.
maybe it was just the last little bit he needed, but he still has enough for it to be effective. So, before we... Oh.
Okay, Sly, we need to send Carmelita a radio pulse so she can home in on the blimp. To do that, I'll need you to get on top of 4 very tall towers.
Okay, so I believe that I actually got all of the bottles
What's this all got to do with this
between that last slideshow and now.
It's an experimental mega jump pack. By
So
pressing
I'll
the
be getting the
R key,
safe. I believe it's after this job. I'll be getting the safe and the rest of the world
All right.
loot.
Sounds
Right.
like fun.
Now you'll notice that I had that jump pack on my back. That actually prevented me from picking up any world loot. So that's why I didn't do it off screen.
Oh.
And so, yeah, before I started this mission, I have this jump pack on me, but I couldn't use it until you actually start the mission. So, unfortunately, this super jump was not a help in getting the bottles.
Yeah, I don't love when you get an upgrade, you can only use one, so that's actually really nice.
Especially when it's a really flimsy reason as to why you didn't have it before or after.
It's something you'd think cheats would let you have.
I actually believe that there is a cheat that lets you keep this.
Jump physics in games are something that I think a lot of people take for granted because maybe it's because Mario's made them complacent, but the difference between a good game and a bad game can really come down to jump feel.
Well, just movement in general, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, lest we forget Bubsy 3D. Please,
Yeesh.
let's forget Bubsy 3D.
We never will. We may forget good games, but we will never, ever forget bad ones.
Yeah.
There's
feel
too
like,
much YouTube money to be made off of them.
Yeah, I feel like I remember great games and bad games. It's the mediocre, middle-of-the-road ones that are so bland that you forget.
Yeah. You ever had a franchise that you were like, I kind of liked this. There were some rough parts, and I can't say that I loved it, but, you know, you still sort of have this connection to it.
Oh, yeah. Growing up as a kid, I got a lot of shovelware here and there. So I have some games that I feel like I like this game alright, but I feel like nobody would ever want to play it if they actually had the choice to buy it. Although I'm trying to think of what that is.
The example I was thinking of was Darksiders.
Ah.
Because I wanted to like that first game a lot more than I did, even though it was still pretty good. And then the later entries are all completely different, like, genres. And I didn't... I'm never playing Darksiders 2 again.
I always confuse it with Darkstalkers.
A lot of people do, I think.
It's funny, though. I did think of one, and that is the movie tie-in game to Open Season. It's not a great game, but it's not a terrible game. It's just
I seem to
kind of a
remember
game.
I seem to remember seeing that game in our local video rental store, and that was like, oh my gosh, there's physical Wii games around in the wild. It was like right after the Wii came out.
Yeah. Remember that Excite Truck game?
I don't think so.
There was a Excite Bike-like game called Excite Truck, but it was very, like, radical, very, like, I don't know, it had a certain vibe.
So I don't know what is up with that health in the center there. But now that the grid is down, we can just run right across.
That arpeggio really knew his encryption algorithms. As it stands, I'm only 86.5% convinced the code to the vault is 725.
Invisibility?
Yep. You know, typically Bentley says the name of the ability after you get it, but there's at least one where he doesn't.
I'm curious why he, like, you know, in the first game we were getting pages of the Thieves Raccoonus book.
Yep.
Do they have a justification why the Claw game has these, like, just moves in things, or is it just gamey?
No, it's just a game thing. So be very glad that I edited this out, because I got lost trying to find that last one for like 20 minutes.
Oh, man. I mean, a place like this, it's got a few things against it. It's symmetrical, and it's bland in a way.
Alright, this is it. Last job of the game.
Get down to business. I need an experienced tail gunner. Jump in and grab the gun. We've got a bird to take down.
That's not flirty chit chat.
All right.
So while there
big
are
boss
sequences, after this, this is the real, like, final boss, and it's a little underwhelming. Similar to the first game with the jetpack. It's like, turret section, this is how we're gonna be doing the bulk of the damage to the final boss.
I don't know if it's a similar situation, but the Star Fox Adventures Dinosaur Planet game, you can see the amount of polish goes in a like horrible diminishing arc. That by the time you get to the last area, you're just sprinting through it, and it's just terrible. Like, I think the boss in that level was similar to this, and it was just this, like, what would you call this? Like, just a auto-scroll gun section.
Yeah, I mean, it's a turret segment. That's really all there is to it.
Well, that's fancy.
Yeah, so just shoot out the edge of the rings on these, and the electricity will reverse, and you'll fly right through the center.
You know, it'd be tricky is if she sent out one that was already, like, opposite to trip you up in the rhythm, where you didn't have to shoot it. And if you did, you'd get hit.
Yeah.
It really helped me chewing doesn't get picked up on this mic, but we'll see. Alright. There's like 3 kinds of bombs.
I think there's just 2 types of missiles. The ones that, the yellow ones that go down in 1 hit, and the red ones that go down in 2.
Oh! Well. Oh. I thought she, like, disintegrated there for a second. Way to not get out of the way, guys.
They were inside the safe house.
Oh.
I'm coming, guys.
Oh, yay. It's free fall platforming crap.
Yeah, and I actually die twice. It is nice that we get voice clips from the 2 of them, though.
Yeah.
They're freaking out.
So, you made it sound like, or this game's making it sound like they're throwing around the word immortal and invincible interchangeably. Because
I don't remember hearing the term invincible.
they're not, but I'm just saying, like, oh, if she becomes immortal, then it'll be bad news. I'm like, but she'll still be killable, right? Like,
My life is literally flashing before my eyes. Literally.
I like the coyote physics fall. That's always good.
Well, like, if the light show went off, she'd be immortal, and then, no, she can't be killed.
See, I'm used to immortal mean you would, you know, you'll live forever through, like, means of, like, you know, you just won't age.
Immortal means you can't die through any means.
I've seen it used. I blame Jackie Chan Adventures for this one, actually.
See, there's immortality, and then there's eternal youth.
Alright, you can actually talk and think still.
You might have a new body, Mila, but you're still the low-down, backstabbing coward we've beaten time and time again. This won't be any different.
Be brave while you can, Cooper. But why not be without someone of pure hate when I feel some power growing within me?
Well, Plan A may have failed, but it seems as though Neela's got a backup Plan B for achieving Clockwork's true power.
Yeah, it turns out us pissing her off enough would make it so it doesn't matter. So you going for the eyes?
Seems as though... Yeah, you got it for the eyes. Seems as though the Coopers have a way of doing that.
I mean, it gets under Carmelita's skin plenty, so it makes sense.
Yeah, that's fun and flirty. Neela truly hates it.
Into the side. No, actually, what river is that?
We did it.
Right on!
It's an emotional moment.
Die, insects, die!
Watch out. That thing's still kicking.
Lachla mentioned something about a hate chip.
What?
It sounded like the source of her power.
If we remove it, she might stop attacking.
Then let's do a little open head surgery. I'll pry open that beak so that Bentley can go to town with his bombs.
I mean, Neela's just in there, right? Like, piloting this thing.
By this point, she's doing a little more than piloting.
I see.
I hate you, Cooper Gang. I will find you in your sleep and I will destroy you. You'll never know a moment's peace for the rest of your short, miserable lives. The Clock will know revenge. I am revenge. I am the Alpha and the Omega. Clock.
This was before Virgil was described as the Alpha and the Omega.
Huh. This kind of gives me Star Fox vibes in a way. Big floating head energy.
Yeah. But at least it's not a head and two floating hands.
Yeah.
There it is.
One last time to hack, I guess.
Nope, no hacking.
Oh, just get it.
Just get it.
Let's get out of here. She's about to explode. Ah!
Uh-oh.
My glasses.
What? Bentley, I'll save you.
Pick me up. I can't walk.
Come on, Sly, let's get out of here.
I can't believe Clock-La is dead.
And there we were, at the end of the road. The Claw Gang had been defeated, and the clockwork parts lay scattered around in heaps. Yet, despite the explosion, they remained pristine. It was as if nothing could ever hurt them. Carmelita cursed herself for showing up too late to get a few shots in on Clockla. So she took it out on what was close at hand, the hate chip. And just like that, it was over. Without that core piece, that essential center of clockwork, there was nothing left. The parts aged before our eyes as if time had finally caught up with the ancient bird.
So there you
How
go. That was the
ironic that
secret for
Carmelita, a
Clockwork's
police officer,
immortality and the
would be
parts
one who received
longevity.
the curse from the Cooper family. The menace of Clockwork would never again rise to threaten me or my children. True to her nature, she informed us that we were all under arrest. But one look at my gang told me that we were in no shape for a fast getaway. So I offered to go
So yeah,
peacefully in exchange for
Bentley
letting my
is
friends
now crippled. He spends the rest of the series in a
They'd taken some
wheelchair.
bruises
Really?
from this,
Oh,
but
Yes.
that's
I was
that's
surprised, shocked really, to see them leave
Huh.
their gear behind as they walked away. Their wounds were
because in the
deeper
first
than I
game I thought he
imagined.
was wheelchair ridden.
Those guys were
Ah.
hurting.
You were 2 games too early.
Aw.
Carmelita's old police unit soon arrived. With me in custody, her name was cleared, and she even got a well-deserved promotion.
Promotion.
It was the least I could do. The ride to HQ started with us sitting in silence, trying to read each other's thoughts. As the reality of my capture started to sink in, she began to relax, and we got to talking. We spoke freely about our previous adventures, comparing notes and even getting in a few laughs. Then we started talking about, well, everything. Books, music, art. It was like we were on a first date. She even showed me the bottle she'd been saving for the special occasion of my arrest. My heart sank when she realized that our short flight across town had already taken 2 hours, a fact I'd kinda clued into after seeing the Eiffel Tower float by 17 times. She went forward to ask the pilot what was up, and it looked like my pals had left me a little going-away present before taking off. Floating away on the night breeze, I could faintly make out Carmelita's voice.
I'll find you, Cooper! I'll be seeing you soon, Ringtail.
the one bit of 2D lip syncing they needed to do in the entire game.
Yeah, that's the only time it's really moved.
So that was Sly 2. While there are a lot of qualities to Sly 3, ultimately I think that the series peaked here. And this really represents kind of, to me, a height of PS2 platformers. I never did get an opportunity to play some of its contemporaries like Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank, but this series is real special to me, and this entry in particular.
Yeah. It's funny how... Do you feel like the third game's the weakest?
No, I would say that the first one, it's hard to compare since they're so different, but ultimately it's a lot lesser than either two games. The third one really, in terms of its story and themes and such, is kind of a step up in a lot of ways. But some of the gameplay concepts are wear a bit thin. It's a lot of mini games. I played the fourth game once and I wasn't impressed.
Oh, that's a shame.
So that gets contradicted later.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 babies. Oh, so you mean like people going straight?
Dimitri specifically. What he ending up as an instructor on a cruise ship.
That's funny. Oh, the irony. Maybe we'll see him in Sly 5, where you go to the future or something. I don't know.
And there's no future for Arpeggio because he's frickin' dead.
Yeah, dead as hell.
Oh yeah, and check this out. They were telling us to go touch grass long before that was a thing.
Nice.
All right.
That's
Thank
the
you
end of
all
that.
for joining us, and hopefully you can join us for our next playthrough.
Yep.